When I first started meditating, many years back now, I was completely lost. I did not really know what it was for, I did not know how to do it, or what the history or context of it was. I was simply told to do it because it was good for me. In the book, The Little Prince, it is written, "It is only in the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." What this is telling us is that our senses can be deceptive and only see things that are superficial, and instead it is our heart, or what is inside of us, that we should use as our moral compass. This is what meditation is, in essence. It is a method for overcoming the physical and emotional obstacles associated with our senses and our mind, and instead connecting with our hearts. This can be referred to as connecting to the self, to your spirit, or to your soul. Meditation does not necessarily require us to believe in any or all of these things, or adhere to any specific theology or ideology, and especially not to still enjoy its benefits. This passage from The Little Prince is trying to tell us that our emotions do not always have to make logical sense. What matters most is what they imply, and also our understanding and awareness of those things. There are countless different types and variations of meditation that all can help us with this, as well as a number of other complementary medical or psychological methods. But what is meditation exactly? Meditation can be most easily described and thought of as intentional concentration on a selected focus. That's it. All other applications and interpretations are secondary within this, and all unfold as part of our own journey as we descend into ourselves. When I first heard about meditation, I did what perhaps many of us do, and I dismissed it outright. If it's just sitting down quietly, what good could it possibly do for anyone? Mumbo jumbo, I thought. Trained as a scientist, I was dogmatic in my belief that only that which was tangible and could be measured was of real value. It was not until many years later that I realized just how naive I had been and began to take it more seriously. It took me many failed attempts to get to grips with meditation. Like any skill, it takes commitment and practice to learn. I feel that often those who say that meditation doesn't work are perhaps a little confused about two things. First, they might expect it to be some sort of magical cure-all for all of their mental distresses and problems in life. Meditate the pain away, right? Second, they might expect to see results right away. Neither of these things are really true. The effects of it, instead, are often more difficult to see, as they're inside of you, and they accumulate more gradually over time, such that when we might look back over a longer period of time, we could notice a big difference to how we feel compared to when we first started our journey. If we think that we might not be doing it the right way, the best thing to do is simply to be patient with ourselves. Another little hurdle that we might experience is that we might become impatient during meditation because our minds are busy and distracted, and therefore we might feel that it's not working. Having our minds bouncing all over the place or getting lost in thought is perfectly normal, and it happens to everyone, especially when we're starting out. The most important thing is not to consider this as a failure, but to practice simply being aware of these moments, learning to let go of them, and returning to the point of focus that we have, which is our breath. Over time, what we might start to notice is that we gain an increasing sense of observational awareness, both for emotional and for physical stimuli, but gradually, we are able to become less and less emotionally engaged with those stimuli. This can be an exceptionally powerful way of helping to deal with negative feelings, such as victimization, anger, fear, shame, or helplessness. Instead, allowing ourselves to cope with the stresses associated with these much more easily. Many of us have probably at one point in our lives turn to alcohol, smoking, or other substances that we feel help us to deal with our emotions and with our stresses. They might help to numb the pain for a short while, or distract or occupy our minds. But these things are quite distinct from actually understanding, accepting, and ultimately trying to deal with and learn from those experiences. Every time we make a choice to suppress our emotions or cover them up, we lose a chance to really grow from them. Meditation allows us to patiently engage our emotions and work through them internally. They can gradually become the focus of our meditation. Acknowledge our feelings, let them go, and refocus on the breath. If it comes back up, repeat the process. Through this, it is possible for us to even gain new insights into our feelings, and then we can deal with them appropriately after our meditation, when our minds are clearer. If it is something important, we will remember it. Just some of the potential benefits of meditation can include greater memory recall, a blossoming creativity, a deeper understanding of our own minds and our hearts, increased wisdom and intuition about the world around us. It can help us to overcome any doubts and fears that might have us stuck in past or future moments. Through this, meditation acts as a sort of psychological release, and it can enable a very therapeutic healing process and complements regular psychotherapy. Meditation also engages natural healing processes within our bodies. For example, decreased heart rate, breathing rate, and oxygen consumption, along with an increase in alpha wave patterns in the cerebral cortex. Herbert Benson and Keith Wallace refer to this state as the wakeful hypometabolic state, or the relaxation response. Something else meditation can guide us through is with noticing the ego. The ego is the part of each of us, the self, that believes it is absent from the whole. Some branches of meditation believe that its main goal is for the destruction or death of the self in order to attain connectivity with all others and even the divine and universal spirit. Again, it is up to you whether or not you entertain these beliefs as part of your journey. Here though, it must be emphasized that for all of the good it can do, meditation does not change the environment around us. If we live in a hostile environment, meditation might help us to deal with it better, but we also need to make more physical changes to make things healthy. So, with that brief introduction in mind, here are 5 very simple steps for learning and practicing meditation. Step 1. Getting the right setting. When meditating, it helps to be in as a relaxing environment as possible, without distractions. This will usually be down to our own personal preferences for what we find mentally and physically comforting. Usually though, sitting in a quiet, comfortable space helps to create the right atmosphere. This can be a specific space, inside or outside, and you can design it to however you like. Whatever helps to ease into that calm, focused, and relaxed state of mind. For example, you might want to include photos or other objects that invoke particularly fond memories and experiences and bring to you a sense of joy. Step 2. Release and let go. Meditation is an exercise, and like all physical exercises, we should start by stretching. If you feel physical tension inside of you, stretch, give it a little wiggle maybe, and just release the stress. And when you feel ready, close your eyes gently. Take a few long, deep breaths, filling your lungs as much as you can. And with each exhale, feel the release and the body relaxing as you let go. Finding the best posture for yourself is all a matter of preference and experience too. You might want to sit cross-legged or in lotus position if you're a little bit more flexible. whatever enables you to sit still and in comfort for periods of time. Try and keep your back straight and sit upright and proud. You can rest your arms on your knees if it helps, or gently in your lap. You can also use something to support your back too, if needed, as long as you are not in pain or feeling any discomfort when beginning. Step 3. Connecting to a different state. Virtually all meditation practices describe some form of interplay between the self, as in the ego, and the higher self, or the spirit and the divine, the soul. There are many different words to describe this duality. There will be moments during your meditation where you drift between these two states. Those who meditate describe the experience as feeling a blissful state of inner peace and love, compassion, gratitude, awe, joy, all attributed to a connection with a different state. Some call this state God, or a divine spirit. Personally, I don't think it matters so much what you call it, or identify it as, just so that you get to experience it and really be present with it. Step 4. Having a sacred word. This step is optional, I feel, and can be helpful for different forms of prayer or meditation. Different words, chants, and mantras all are designed to help guide meditation or provide a focus for centering of prayer. This can be anything you want, but short words are usually best. Peace, love, joy. Focusing on this word can help to re-anchor our presence within a higher state. And step 5 is practice, practice, practice. Yep. Sorry folks, this is not something that we can just do every now and then expect it to work miracles. It requires a habit, a routine, and commitment. Just like any other sport, exercise, or hobby, you can't expect to become a professional athlete if you don't train. It is the same for training your mind too. The more we train, the more we learn and develop. And the best way to achieve this is through a routine. Establish a schedule of repeated daily practice until meditation becomes a second nature to you. For example, having a specific time of the day, duration, and type of meditation for set periods of time can help. The longer you can meditate for, the better. Usually at least 15 minutes is best. Give your mind time to quieten down. But even 5 or 10 minutes is better than 0 minutes. The more you practice, the more you experience. For those of us who feel like we might not have the time, consider this like an investment of your time. Just a short amount of time spent meditating can help you to be more focused, more aware, and more relaxed during the day, and ultimately ends up saving you time and energy. What you might begin to notice after a while is that you feel like you can enter a more pure meditative state more often throughout the day. It can be when doing anything in which you enter that heightened state of awareness, because at the end of the day, that's really all meditation is.